Welcome to number 5, and this is copy rotate the tower legs. And if you take a look on the screen here, you can see we had not completed this. So this was a very simple task. Just now you mark the locations of the bolts, and how to create this. Just measure the distance from get the distance from the center of this bolt to the edge. That will be 30. So then this distance to this distance, bolt to bolt, center bolts, that is 60. Then it starts from the center right there. Now add the same, put a point there, then or copy it at 30, then copy the same point at 60, then at 60. So we need 3 bolts. Now once you have the bolts in location or in the exact place, we want to place the bolts points. Once you have the points in the right place, then you just go ahead and create the bolts right there. After putting your XYZ plane to its global position, I'll come to steel, then come to bolts. Then I'll pick the parts I want to bolt together like that. Then I'll press my milled button on the mouse. Then from there I'll be able to pick where I want to place my bolts. But the XYZ orientation is not favoring my placement. So you can see how the bolts have been placed. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to undo that. So once I've undone that, I'm coming to view. I'll come to work plane and place my work plane to slope with this member, because it is a member. It is a sloping member there. So the bolts arrangements also take a conical shape or take the slope of the leg. Now I'll come to steel right there, pick on the bolts, then pick the parts I want to bolt together, that and that. Then press my middle button on the mouse, then pick on the points I want to place my bolts on. But you can see they are off the points. So what do? I'll just double click on it. So once I've double clicked on that, I'll find a way of now putting them in the right position. So this now is key, and it's very important. Now on the plane, you can see on the plane is 40. And I will just click 0, remove that 40 and reset it to 0. So that's what we have. So you can see it's also closer to the other side, which is not right. So what you do, just get rid of this 50 right there and put it to 0 and click OK. So that will take it to that location, to the exact location that we had defined previously. Then if you come to navigate, we'll rotate this. And if you turn that like that, we'll see we've created a full joint there that runs from the bottom end to the top end. So the next thing we're going to do is quite simple. I'll reset my XYZ plane, because you can see the way it is. It will not favor the next thing we're going to do. So I'm going to come to work plane, then pick on parallel, then click change. This will reset our XYZ plane to a global position. So now I can right click on left click on empty screen, then right click, then come to redraw. This will refresh everything, but you can see we are still having the points in place. So these points, we will have to get rid of them, but the next step you're going to do will need point creation. But let's just get rid of them for the moment. Let's just hide them. I'll come to view. You can see the view depth. The view depth is 73, just because we can see the top, the exact top of our, just to create some allowance on top on the full height of our tower by a meter. Now in here I can just go ahead and check the points, then click modify, apply, and click OK. Then apply the same thing here. Then the points are normal. We can't see them. Now what we want to do next is just to populate or to create the 4 legs. And to create the 4 legs, first of all, we have to work with the points. And since the points we had hidden, let's see, we'll have one of them in place, and just copy them. Just copy that upward by some millimeters. So let me just sort of clear everything and come to just make it 300 and click copy. So we'll have that point and that point. Now we want to populate these points. We want to create the rest of the legs. Now since I have selected everything, let me isolate those points. or remove them from selection. So I want to right click and come to special copy, then I'll come to rotate, then I'll rotate using I'll copy rotate here. So I'll use 90, and I'll use my line as my option for copying. So I define the lines, and you can see the coordinates or origin coordinates adjusting to that point. So if I just zoom this closer and try to copy rotate, if I click copy, let's wait and see how this has responded. It has responded, but it's just one. We need several of that, so I'm going to undo that. I'm going to undo. So I'm going to add, I need 3 of them. So if I click 3, I have 3 there, and click copy, I should have 4 of them in place. So let's just give it some time to populate that information around. So I'll go ahead and click copy, then I'll right click and click interrupt. So if I right click once again, I come to read row right there, and I'll be able to refresh everything. And if I come to view and come to top, you'll be able to see we have the top view like this. So this is what we have as our tower legs we have created. You can see that from the top view. So this is how interesting it is. And if I switch back to isometric view, I'll be able to turn this. And if I come to navigate, I'll be able to rotate this. As you can see, if I take it upward, you can see we have the legs already in place. So what it will be remaining is to start now. How do we create the braces, the bracings, the diaphragms, and all that? So I hope that is enough for this topic, and the rest will now pick from how we can now start creating the lines, the construction lines that will be defining the locations of our braces, diaphragms, and many more. So let's meet then on the next topic.